Okay, we continue our second part, our second practical lessons, and it is about discussion of our lecture materials. We can use, for example, chat to answer the questions, and we also can turn on your microphone and ask the answer of some questions. This was the activity of practical lessons, and to add more balls for your finish results on these disciplines. So I have some questions about your lecture from your lectures about lecture materials, and we discuss there what is the disciplines, international logistic systems, about which parameters it is, about which kinds of transport, for example, yes. And first questions will what are the main tasks of international logistics that you remember. For example, yes, if you can to answer now, turn on microphone, it is okay, or maybe you can to write in chat if it is not comfortable to you. Okay. So our first question was about the discipline international logistics system, what it means, and what the main contains, main parameters of this discipline. You can write the answer in chat, for example, or tune on your microphone and ask answer on this question. Maybe I write the question in our chat, and we can have to do answer here. So what is no, maybe because it is a very big parameter. So what are the main parameters of disciplines, transport systems and logistics? So I write in chat our questions, and you can to answer it now or later if it is not possible for you now. What are the main? Maybe the main tasks of the discipline. And I use a short name of our courses, Intelligent Logistic Systems. Okay, I sent in chat. You can to answer now. Or for example, you can to answer on these questions as your homework if now you are at work, for example, or you can do it on our practical lessons. If somebody want to answer on these questions, turn on your microphone. It was good and you can do it.
And the parameters you mean like transportation parameters, logistics parameters, and integration parameters and performance metrics?
Yes, yes. It is maybe the main, yes, but if we ask about different kinds of transports, for example.
There are for groups, and if we will detailize In transportation parameters, we have such parameters like modes of transport. So we have different means and methods how we move goods and people. So railroads, air transport, sea transport, pipelines, and other stuff. Then we have
Yes.
infrastructure for this means of transport. For each means of transport, we also could have characteristics, so their capabilities of efficiency, fuel consumption, capacity, load, and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
also we have such parameters as safety, accessibility for each of them. So we know how easy is to use any mean of transport then we can use, and how safe it is. Is it correspond to safety regulations? Could regular people use it, or this should be some specifically trained personnel? And
Mm.
I believe that's it for transportation parameters.
Yes, yes, thank you, answer. Yes, thank you very much. Maybe somebody also wanted to add something about this answer. You can write in chat, for example, only for me or for everybody. Okay, and our next question, also maybe I write in chat, it is about first election materials. We discuss about what are the main regulations in Ukraine and the world. Yes, what is difference, what is the same for different kinds of transport. Now I write also in chat our question and maybe to add it in our course in Moodle that you can to do it later as your homework, for example, who can't to answer today. Yes. So what are the main regulations? I write in chat. Okay, the main regulations in Ukraine. And in the world or in other country. Mhm. Regulations means how is systems, for example, in Ukraine and in other countries. We can, for example, use Poland, European countries, or for example, USA. It is different for every every of transport, every kinds of transport. Yes. Maybe somebody wanted to answer and tune on your microphone or write in chat also on this question.
So regarding the regulations for transport, I believe we have for the road transport, we have
Yes.
mostly aligned. We are mostly aligned with Europe because I believe all European countries and Ukraine are signed this convention that regulates road usage, signs, and other stuff. And we are mostly aligned on the regulations regarding the emissions, I believe.
Yes. And also we can differences between we use different range of railway transport, for example. Yes, for Europe it is
Yeah,
more
they have
narrow.
narrower
Yes.
track because I don't know. I believe the railroads in Ukraine are built by Americans. That's why we are using like American track style, and it is
Yes.
much wider than European.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. In Ukraine, we have wide 1520, yes, millimeters. So in Europe, it is 1434. No, it is not a very big difference, but for transport, it is very important. Okay, maybe somebody else want to answer this question or add something. Mhm. Okay, if not, we have our third question from our lectures materials, yes, and discuss about the classification of international organizations. We have, no, you learn each on your maybe first and second lectures, different kind of international organizations for transport, yes, of transport regulations and other moments, so it is also is important and use. So I write these questions in our chat and maybe somebody want to answer them. So tell us about.
I could tell about curious story
Question.
with airports because basically
Yes.
there are two different organizations that are managing the airports. The more general one that gives the airport these
Mm-hmm.
three letters to identify them. But as we know, there are much more airports than I believe. How much could we do with three letters of English Latin alphabet? But
Mm-hmm.
we have this different organization. It's called ICAO, I believe,
Yes,
International
yes.
Civil Aviation Organization, and it is managing like every cornfield that is named as airport and registered as airport.
Yes. Air transport, we use also for transportation different cargo types, yes, bus, but it is not very often because this cargo is or cheap or very fast changing, yes, so we use air transport for passengers more often,
Yeah,
of
and
course.
what's interesting about it that one organization is actually managing the flight, and the
Yeah.
other one is actually managing your baggage that is coming with you because they have different airport codes on them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Okay. So it is interesting. Yes, maybe other students today is not very activity. So I add to our Moodle courses these questions, yes, and we can to answer it later. We have sometimes and can to discuss about our next questions. We use it is about organization and also about procedure for evading international, also about organization. I think it is the same. We discussed it already. And what do you remember about the history of the United Nations? So maybe it is about transport systems in Ukraine. So I think it is an interesting question and we added. So what do you remember? Mhm.
So maybe this Yalta
About.
conference when the UN was
Yes, yes,
like
also.
formed, the presidents may arrive to using the railways because it's safer.
Mhm. Yes. It is a history moment and in transport systems it is always very important because all is in another ways.
Maybe
Allah
I ask.
also want to, yes,
No.
add
Yeah.
your answer.
The United Nations system was born more than 100 years ago in the middle of the 19th century, the first international organization, a period constant wars, which delayed the development of international organization, have long been a reason for states to create an international organization to prevent wars and maintain peace. International allies called the Central Rhine Shipping Commission, which was founded in 1815, the first international organization. And other scholars call this document the Roosevelt Churchill Atlantic Charter.
Yes.
And our Soviet researchers indeed refer to the Soviet Polish Declaration of December 4, 1941.
Yes, it is also very important because after each document, the acts, different kinds of transport can to use these regular systems. So it is important. Thank you very much. Yes. Maybe Mukita also want to add to this question something. If no, we started our next questions. 1 minute, please. Okay. It is all very interesting information, and I think you know it in other subject also. Yes, from history of transport systems, and we know if it is important for everyday transportation, cargo and passengers also. So our next questions it is about no what is logistics, but I think you know it and you listen 4 lections on today. No, maybe we also to remember about it. Yes, what is logistics for you? Maybe such formulated our questions. What is logistics for you? No, for you, no, on this day, maybe the same. What is logistics for you? Central question in our chapter, the disciplines of logistics, you also, I think, learn it on 4 course maybe. So we ask on our first practical lessons that logistics is a science. First of all, it is a science. We use such important parameters about different kinds of transport, different kinds of goods, about some different flows, how many we have it. It is materials flows, it is financial flows, it is servicing also. We use such parameters as servicing flows and also information flows. And it is a science which maybe use how we need to use these different kinds of laws with minimum money, yes, and minimum time, and when we need it. You and transport company and client company also. So it is such science parameters. And what is logistics for you? How you understand these parameters on this day? Maybe somebody who is on our lessons want to answer these questions. Maybe on chat or turn on microphone, Igor. please.
So it's like the let's call it the science of how to transport anything from point A to point B.
Yes. So, and now we often use such parameters, what is logistic in your company, or for example, when we wait in delivery something what we buy on some sites, we also can use what is the logistics of delivery. Yes, so we maybe it is the same how to transportate something, maybe in these
Yes,
parameters.
it's about
Yes.
moving something between a few points.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, and we have some questions also to add it in our chat and in our courses. The next is tell us about the first stage of logistic development in the world. Maybe you learn on lections no, different steps of logistics in different countries. Yes, we can say that it was only in Ukraine or only in some countries. It is about all world, maybe such. Okay, so I write the question. Tell us about. Okay, tell us about the first stage. Or maybe a whole stage, yes, it was more interesting one by one how is logistics was developed, whole stage on this day. Maybe it is not end of development of logistics, so we can to learn in future new stage of logistics. Stage of logistics development in the world. No, I think that you learn it in lections that we have first stage, second and third stage on this moment. It was about computerizations, yes, different programs, products, and other. Maybe somebody of us remember this stage.
I could
Yes.
just tell one by one how it started for me. I believe
Okay.
one of the most prominent, like ancient, very, very old projects is the pyramids in Egypt. And I believe it took a lot of organization to transport people, transport food for them, transport materials, to build actual pyramids into the middle of the desert. Then it was the ancient Romans, so they
Yes.
actually built a lot of roads, and some of them are still remain today. So they built the roads to Roma, and they've like they became like super trade nation because they got these roads and it allowed them to deliver everything much faster than anyone else on this just I don't know ancient roads.
Oh, yes, yes. Maybe it is as a first stage, but after it, we use learning how we can do delivery something, yes, better, faster, yes, and cheaper. So maybe the next step was computerization, yes, when we can use different programs, different maps, electronic systems, Yes, and today it is very important, and every company has some products, computers, gadgets, yes, for it. So we can to do it faster, cheaper, and more productivity.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
computerization is a big step ahead from ancient times. We have like the Silk Road from Asia to Europe in the medieval period. We have this like major routes between major cities and
Yes.
countries. We have then the age of exploration, where the Columbus and everyone else were in in the search of the short path to
Yes.
India to get spices. Then we have colonies, especially Britain colonies, and the logistics routes are all came to London, so all the goods came to London, and then back to colonies. Then we have this industrial revolution, so the machines are moving goods instead of just people or horses or something like that. And after that, we have this computerization, super advanced algorithms that will allow you to calculate the shortest route from point A to anywhere in the world and something like that.
Yes, yes, it is all about logistics. So all history of development and transportation and other waves of our life. So it is all about logistics. Okay, thank you very much, everybody who can to answer on our questions today. We finish our lessons because we have not time more, and I save our questions and add them to our courses on platform of Moodle. So other students who can to connect with us, yes, can to answer on it later and have add balls. Okay, yes. So have a good day, and it is all on today. I wait your homeworks, your photos, or your documents with tasks number 2, and have a good day. Bye bye.
Thanks, have a nice day, bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, goodbye.